For the last 70 years, Americans have been enjoying one of the most luxurious lifestyles on the planet. Since the end of World War II, the American dream has taken root and become the goal of nearly every middle-class American family. A house with a green lawn and a white picket fence. This American dream created a mass migration from inner cities into what is now known as suburbia. However, many years later, this migration to suburbia caused issues that now threaten our American way of life. Peak oil is when production of oil hits its highest point, and due to decreasing supply of the non-renewable resource, crude oil will be extracted at a steadily decreasing rate. Peak oil can be illustrated by this oil well. The oil and natural gas are pumped out and replaced with water inside the well. However, once the oil level drops below 50% inside the well, it becomes increasingly more difficult to extract the oil. This process can be applied on a global level. As we extract easily accessible oil worldwide, discoveries of new oil deposits become less frequent and overall oil production goes down.
The fact that this poses such a risk to our society, looking at 30 billion per year, we look at our two largest suppliers, Saudi Arabia and now Canada with its dirty oil, and together they only form about 15 years of supply. The whole world of 1.2 trillion estimated reserves only gives us about 45 years. So it's not a question of if, but a question of when peak oil will come upon us.
This decrease in oil supply causes issues with the American lifestyle. The problem stems from creating an economy around unlimited cheap oil, which does not actually exist. When we look at our current economic structure, we see that we rely on oil for our current lifestyle. The way suburbs are set up, an increase in oil prices due to peak oil would create an increased cost of living, which could be devastating for middle America. This increased cost of living is due mostly to increased transportation costs because of widespread transportation of goods via large semi-trucks. This method of transportation is very inefficient because it uses massive amounts of gasoline. When the price of fuel goes up, the price of everything that has been transported via these trucks goes up with it. If the average price of one item goes up 50 cents, no big deal, but if everything you buy increases by 50 cents, then it becomes a compounding issue. The suburbs in this scenario are hit harder than anywhere else due to their proximity to population centers. Those who live farther away from cities must travel farther each day to go shopping, get to work, and other daily activities. When the cost for food increases and the cost of gasoline for travel increases, yet your paycheck remains the same, there is an issue. This could force those who live in the suburbs to sell their houses and move to cities. The economic implications cannot be known, but they could very well be disastrous. The number one solution to peak oil is to reduce our dependency on oil and natural gas as a means for power. Reducing dependency does not, however, come with the implication that we have to stop using oil. In fact, oil can be used for many years to come. We just need to use less of it. A good way to reduce oil consumption is to become more local as a society. While there would likely be fundamental changes to the ideal American lifestyle and dream, changing now would be better than collapsing later. Though the situation now seems dire, there is hope that we can mitigate the implications of running out of oil, but we have to start now.